everyone, I'm Ashley Babl with Midwest Laboratories. Soil testing has been the foundation of our business since day one, and soil health has been a topic of conversation for quite some time. At Midwest Laboratories, we have many different packages and analytes to help you measure your soil health. And I had the opportunity to sit down with a few of our friends at the NRCS office to find out what is soil health, what does it all mean, and what can we do to improve on it, because we know now that what goes on below ground is just as important as what goes on above ground.
Well, my name's Aaron Hurd. I'm the State Soil Health Specialist for the NRCS Nebraska. It's really a pleasure to talk to you today, and I'm excited about soil health, soil testing, and urban work that we're doing here at NRCS. So really glad to have this opportunity. To take soil health management seriously, the definition of soil health is the continued capacity of the soil to function as a vital living ecosystem to support plants, animals, and humans. And when we look at the core of that definition, the continued capacity of the soil to function, that's the same definition as our health. Our continued capacity to function depends on how we treat ourselves the day before, the year before, the 5 or 10 years before that. And I think as backyard farmers, we need to take the management of our soil seriously and recognize that even in a small scale, what we do to the soil accumulates through time and results in degradation of soil properties and functions or an improvement of soil properties and functions. And that really can play a big part in the quality of the food that we're growing, the quality of cut flowers, the quality of any product that we're growing in soil depends on the soil medium itself, but the biological community that's there and the whole host of ecosystem services that it's providing for that crop. And then just the nutrient density and just a myriad of compounding results from that healthy soil and that crop interacting is possible. And so we have some soil health management principles that we are promoting through the NRCS. It's really the opportunity to keep the soil covered. We should never see healthy soil. We need to disturb it less or not at all. And we're really big advocates for no-till planting and no-till farming on any scale. I think it's possible and very achievable. Tillage is not evil. It's not going to ruin the land, but it's the accumulation of the effects of tillage year after year after year that really caused the problem. And so that's what we're trying to get away from. We're trying to trend in the right direction. So reducing tillage events or removing several in a year or removing them all for a whole year or several years in your rotation, if possible, is the goal. And then having a diversity of crops is a really big soil health management tool and principle that we're promoting. And so crop rotations play into that, but also cover crops. Cover crops add that diversity in the ecosystem that the biological community in the soil needs to form relationships. And when we have a diverse set of above ground species, then we have a diverse below ground species community. And that's the goal, is to diversify. There's a lot of power in diversity, and there's a lot of power and diversity in our soil. So the other soil health management principle is to keep a living root in the soil. The only connection that the soil has to an energy source is through photosynthesis from a plant, connecting the sun to the soil. And when we manage to keep a plant growing in the soil year-round, or as many months of the year as possible, that's connecting the soil to its energy source. It's like leaving the light switch on instead of off for half the year. And so when the light switch is on, the biological community is still moving, it's still receiving a food supply, and when those little critters can eat, they're moving around and building homes. And that home is soil structure. Soil structure allows for water movement, nutrient cycling, air movement, and a whole myriad of functions of the soil: stability, infiltration, water storage, buffering and filtering, and other great benefits of the soil when it's working. When the light switch is on, that's when the soil actually provides those benefits. And so keeping it connected to the sun is a key part of the puzzle. During the dormant season, biology turns to some other mechanisms for energy sources. There's a lot of biological decomposition that occurs in the soil. Roots begin rotting, the above ground biomass begins to compost and enter the soil profile. And that's where big ecosystem engineers like an earthworm become really critical. Earthworms bury a lot of residue underground. Earthworms are not big fans of tillage though. They don't really like to get sliced and diced. And so we can really promote those larger organisms existing in our soil if we stop disturbing them. We can disturb them less or not at all. And backwards through all of the management principles, keep the soil covered, and then we can infiltrate water. We have way less crusting and the cracking of the soil. We keep it moist and we keep it cool, and the whole system begins to work really, really well. Soil health is really exciting to go from a soil that's just labor intensive, input intensive, and hard to grow in. It just becomes not fun to grow stuff in a non-functioning soil. And as we trend towards soil health and a fully functioning system, it becomes fun. It's like easy. You put seeds out there and things grow, and there's less diseases and less pressure, and the water stays there longer, and it's just a lot different experience. And so I think in gardening, we need to recognize that we need to manage well, we need to take it seriously, we need to implement the same management principles and do good farming practices, and then reap the benefits of that and have fun, have way less time inputs, and also a lot better food. So it's really exciting to implement soil health management in any shape and size of a cropping system.
Here at Midwest Laboratories, we have many tests we can run to help track the improvements you are making on your operation. We have Soil Health Basic, which gives a simplified look at the chemical aspect of the soil, or an S1AN, to the Soil Health Complete, which gives a more in-depth look at the chemical analysis of the soil, like the S3C. And both the basic and complete include the one-day CO2 burst, as well as the Haney test with soil health calculation. It really comes down to the test you want to use for measuring the success of your operation, and here at Midwest Labs, we're ready to help you figure that out. Give us a call today or visit us at midwestlabs.com, and also our friends at the NRCS office would love to have that conversation with you as well.